So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how emotion gets stuck in the body, what that really means, and what we can actually do about it. Welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. Jessica, and I help people with their healing journey by helping them to really connect mind, body, and spirit. I often think of an emotion as energy in motion. See what I did there? When we suppress it, it could be anger, it could be grief, it could be frustration, but when we suppress it, it doesn't get to finish its cycle, right? An emotion comes up to let us know that we're having a reaction to something, or if we don't kind of see it through or process it through, it doesn't just go away. It actually kind of gets stored in the body or in these different layers of our body. You can get trapped in your fascia. This is where we get sometimes random aches and pains. It can get trapped in our nervous system. This is when we have triggers from that similar situation when we have that same response. Or it can get trapped in specific areas of your body, and now we've got GI upset for no particular reason. And you've probably felt this, a lump in your throat, tightness in your chest, even though you may not know why. So over time, this can lead to things like pain, things like fatigue, having a disconnection from your body, or even chronic illness. So from a physical perspective, we can often see this in the nervous system. We usually describe our nervous system's response for the sympathetic nervous system as fight, flight, or freeze. This is what the body does. And if we are not able to safely process whatever triggered that, then it kind of gets stuck in the body. Now, when we layer on kind of looking at this from an energetic lens, we could use something like the chakra system or the koshas to think about, how does this get trapped? Well, things like unexpressed grief. Well, we often feel that in our heart, right? Maybe you froze and weren't able to speak your truth. So then we get blockages we call it blockages in the throat chakra. Or maybe you were in a situation where you felt powerless, and that can sometimes you'll feel that in the abdomen, you feel in your gut or in the solar plexus. And I often think of these blockages as not only having that energetic aspect, but they also can show up in that physical aspect as well. And a lot of times we need to have some awareness of the emotion or the event or the trigger that happened in the first place. So the first step into kind of clearing this out would be to build some awareness. Building that awareness can come through things like meditation, or coming through things like breathwork, or any other kind of mindfulness-based practice. This is where you're just even feeling into where are you feeling this blockage, or where are you feeling this emotion? Again, like I said, if it's grief, maybe you feel it in the heart. We often do have a frame of reference for these things if we kind of sit and think about it first. Now, next question is, okay, so we've got some awareness now. How do we release this? And this is where we want to be careful that we're doing it in some safe ways, because it's not about reliving whatever that trauma was or forcing out tears necessarily. It's really about reconnecting to the body and having some curiosity about it, but also feeling safe enough to do so. So one way I like to do this is something like breath work. Now, why do we use breath work? Well, I like to think of the breath as opening the body gently. It's a way to really bypass the mind and just get into that nervous system. I use breathwork techniques like Ujjayi breath, Nadi Shodhana, or even sometimes just taking a deep breath in and letting it out with a sigh can often release some stuck emotions. I often like to use things like journaling. This is a great way just to kind of write it all out and to get it all out. Having a brain dump, or, I often think of it as a mental diarrhea, and just writing it all out and getting it all out there. That can be very helpful. And then, of course, there's practices like meditation, right? You can scan through your body, bringing awareness into the body, seeing where you feel things that are stuck, bringing awareness to each of these areas and just observing. And of course, there's things like movement or sound that can often help. There's lots of somatic practices, where you're moving your body through different ranges of motion and releasing some of that tension that may be held there. So this work, like working through this, may sound really simple, but it's really powerful. And I like to think that it really is sacred transformation that you're going through. And you need to do it in a safe and supportive space as well. And sometimes you need some help. So this is why I'm creating a workshop where we're going to work through breath work, journaling, meditation, with the point of helping you find ways to help you connect body, mind, and spirit, help move through some blockages. We're going to talk about chakras, talk about koshas, we'll talk about these different layers that really help you connect mind, body, and spirit, and give you practices to work with in a safe and supported space. So if you're interested in that, if that at all resonates, I will leave a link below where you can register your interest, and you'll get an email as soon as the workshop is available. So if you feel like, you've done all the things, but there's still something stuck, or you just need some support and some guidance with this, definitely this workshop would be for you. So click on the link below. You can learn more and register and be notified when the workshop comes up. So I hope that this video was helpful. Of course, if you have any questions, as always, leave them down below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye.